Very much. As I mentioned earlier, we have a great representative from the Academic Senate, Dr. Charles Thomas. Thank you, Dr. Thomas, for being here. You're the chair. You're a business law assistant professor, as I understand it. You advise students interested in law school, which is fantastic. But we thank you for your leadership of the faculty here, and we appreciate your insight you can bring to our discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Glazer, the Select Committee on Student Success, as well as the staff and volunteers that make the State Senate College Tour a reality. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to provide a few words. It's important for us to focus on the interrelationship between student success, often measured by those graduation rates, alongside the barriers such as hunger, housing insecurity, and adequate mental health counseling and services. Academic success cannot be pursued without acknowledging the foundation of having steady housing or enough food to eat. Now, I'm the chair of the Academic Senate here at CSUDH, where I taught business law for the past. Moreover, I live within walking distance to the campus, representing an investment in the long-term viability of this campus and the community it serves. In many ways, I reflect our student body. Like 63% of our incoming class, I'm the first in my family to attend college. Like 82% of our incoming class, I'm a member of an underrepresented minority group. And like 70% of our incoming class, I was a Pell recipient throughout college. Yet, despite these similarities, our student body faces a significantly more expensive collegiate landscape than when I attended college. The Sacramento Bee reported on May 1st of this year that it costs close to 14 times what it cost 40 years ago, back when you, Senator Glazer, graduated from San Diego State. And that is adjusted for inflation, 14 times the cost. Faced with these increased costs, I'm sorry I raised my voice, our students have been taking a longer pathway to college degree, particularly at the junior and senior levels. Roughly 28% of our juniors in fall of 2018 attended part-time, and over 30% of our seniors. This represents double the CSU system-wide average for juniors for fall of 2018. In contrast to our students, I went to college full-time, taking out loans not only for tuition, but also for living expenses on campus. I find our students are far more conservative in their student loan choices, not taking out the amount of loans that I felt comfortable taking out. Now, I still have educational debt, so I really can't fault them for avoiding student loans. However, this leads our students to enter into the workforce, adding additional demands upon their time. Similarly, commuting to campus keeps our students within their existing familial relationships, placing yet another demand, think child care, elder care, on their time. Some of the research literature implies that those with 30+ hours of outside commitment, largely work, including caretaking, can't thrive and be successful with a 15-unit load per semester. Now, our mean unit load has been improving, currently at 12.4 for the campus and 13 units for incoming freshmen, but we're still not at 15. This is the context that frames our 4-year and 6-year graduation numbers. As faculty, we are proud of the work that we do with students, and CSUDH is ranked 4th in the state for social mobility, where students have secured earnings that are 2 quartiles above their parents' earning rates. CSUDH is where transformative social mobility happens. Faculty at CSUDH forge pathways to meet the needs of students. For example, sociology professor Katie Pinto was recognized by the Chancellor's Office for her innovations in graduate advising. In addition, the University Advising Center works closely with faculty advisors and mentors from each college, with several faculty participating in a fellow advising program. While we continue to make strides towards our Graduate Initiative 2025 goals, we are also attempting to address our long-term student needs with building new dorms on campus. Transitioning this campus from principally commuter to principally residential will provide students the option to join a living, learning community on a campus to minimize those outside commitments that I just previously discussed. We're also making efforts to measure the level of our basic needs on the Dominguez Hills campus. Our campus-wide survey goes live in 2 weeks. This will help us to accurately identify the extent basic needs are unmet on this campus. We will hopefully inform campus policy and funding moving forward. In the meantime, the campus is engaging in outreach for its CalFresh program. We are a leader in affordable learning solutions for textbooks. We are utilizing a food recovery network for campus dining and for our campus farm. We have developed a weekly farmers market that brings fresh fruits and vegetables to the campus community. We have developed a basic needs app, which the provost has told you a little bit about. And we have established funds for emergency housing and pay it forward grants. But we also know that the current need outpaces the supply. At the start of the semester, as Academic Senate Chair, I recommended that all faculty include in their syllabi resources for food and housing insecure students, as well as announcing the upcoming Basic Needs Survey. Student Affairs has also provided a guide of resources for faculty and staff to direct students. As faculty, we often serve as surrogate support for students that their families cannot, because they simply have not navigated the system. This support includes teaching time management, establishing strong personal and professional identity, and developing a sense of belonging in the academic community. In this sense, the faculty are influential in the development of our students and remain committed to their lifelong learning. As we say, once a Toro, always a Toro. And again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to the Select Committee on Student Success.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas, and I'm particularly appreciative of the work that you and your faculty members have done on, I guess you call it universal learning. This is where books don't cost as much. Is that fundamentally what it's about?
Yes.
That they can access the study materials without those enormous costs. That's a fantastic thing that you and your colleagues are doing. It's a big deal. Those are huge costs for many students, and I appreciate the work of your faculty to try to make that better for kids. And I also want to applaud you and your colleagues for the syllabus idea and identifying in many spaces, not just on a website, where those who have basic needs can get some help. So thank you. But let me, and I know we have some time issues here, but let me give you one question. If there were, you have a magic wand now, congratulations. You get 2 wishes to improve the 4-year graduation rate here at Dominguez Hills. What would those 2 wishes be?
Additional resources specifically geared toward making this a residential campus.
Okay.
And in terms of supplemental instruction equivalent to what we see in the first year experience for the second, third, and fourth year experience.
Okay, those enhancements that create better connection and engagement and support. Those
Absolutely.
Are wonderful ideas, and I'm very excited about the dorm, and I think that all the folks who are smarter than me recognize the advantage of a residential community and how that can take care of distractions, as you described, and keep greater cohesion and continuing education, which was what we're all striving for. So thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Assembly Member.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Thomas. You know, your comments reminded me when I was on the Assembly Budget Committee when Governor Brown, then Governor Brown, first pushed the 4-year graduation initiative. You know, we all understood that his intent was to try to open up more opportunities by getting more students in and out of our universities, and thereby graduating more students. But there was one comment that Governor Brown made that I thought was perhaps reflective of the different perspectives and the different life experiences that we need to make sure we are listening to people like you and to your students. You know, when you talked about how so many of your students are so busy working, you know, to be able to put themselves through school, that they don't have time to be attending a lot of programs. And it reminded me, Governor Brown talked about how, you know, back in his day, you know, he took the meandering road through life and explored in many different ways. But you know, and it immediately met the criticism from many students that were at that hearing, saying that we're not meandering, we're just too busy working to try to put ourselves through school. And so, you know, I mean, I'm listening to this conversation. Of course, you know, we always want to, you know, look for ways for government to be more efficient and our universities be more efficient, you know, to have less than 6 clicks to get the California Promise. But, you know, I mean, just the overall reality that I always hear whenever I come here to Dominguez Hills, that this is not only the most diverse, but, you know, it faces some of the most challenging economic circumstances with your students. And so I want to make sure that you know, that the policymakers are in touch with the reality, and I think that's why we're all here, and I want to thank you very much for your comments.
State Assembly member, I would just say, just in terms of a statistic that you could point to, would be the average age of our juniors and seniors compared to the CSU system. The average age of our juniors, based upon fall of 2018, was 25.3. Sorry for the 0.3 of years, but it is what it is. Within the system, it is 22.9. So that difference of 2.4 years, what difference does that make? Well, it's called life. And all of a sudden, if you become betrothed, you now have a child, you now have a requirement to work, you have additional familial requirements. These are the types of life experiences that I see that sometimes will inhibit our ability, despite our best intentions, to get through in 15 every single semester. I just want to provide that as a context comparatively to other campuses. You know, again, you could look at ethnicity on this campus vis-a-vis other campuses. There's a number of different factors I just want to point to that mitigate against the ability for all to graduate 15 every single semester just because of life experience.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Thomas, for your great testimony. I want to grant you both of your wishes because they're fantastic, and I certainly think that we all share those goals, and we'll work together going forward. Thank you for your testimony.
The Government's Sunshine Project is brought to you by Charles Thomas for Carson City Council 2020. I'm Charles Thomas, and I approve of this message.